I believe in Gotham City, says Bruce Wayne, and I only came here out of respect for my parents, who knew your family. Bruce looks down on the party below. In the room with Bruce is mob boss Carmine Falcone. Falcone tells Bruce that the bank has agreed to do business with him, and as a member on the board, he hopes Bruce will vote for him. Bruce tells him, I won't vote for you or influence the board, regardless of whatever position they've taken. Falcone tells Bruce that's disappointing, and Bruce makes his leave. As he's leaving the party, he runs into Selina Kyle, who asks him to dance. Falcone's looking out his window at Bruce dancing down below, and he tells his son Alberto, if anything ever happens to me, your Aunt Carlo is in charge. One of Falcone's men busts in the room. Boss, there's something you need to see, and he hands him a photo of Harvey Dent down in the parking garage. Falcone sends his men after him, and they beat up Dent. As Bruce and Selina are leaving, they run into Dent and help him back up. Harvey goes to see Commissioner Gordon and tells him about the wedding and what he saw. Gordon tells Harvey he has a friend he wants to get involved. Across the city, Catwoman is breaking into Carmine Falcone's house and stealing his ledger and jewels when Batman shows up to stop her. Just then, Falcone's men bust in and start shooting up the place. Batman throws a smoke bomb to escape. Out of the smoke steps Carmine Falcone, who is angry that Batman and Catwoman broke into his house, and he puts out a hit on him. Catwoman gets away from Batman, and all of a sudden, the bat signal lights up. Batman shows up and meets Commissioner Gordon and Harvey Dent on the roof. The three men discuss how they're going to capture Falcone when he can just pay off the cops and the judges. But Gordon says he wants it done by the book, and the three men agree, and Batman disappears. Batman left behind a ledger containing all of Falcone's records and contacts. The next morning, Bruce Wayne shows up to a bank meeting and tells him he's not doing business with Falcone. The rest of the bank members don't care if Falcone's a criminal or not. They'll take the money, and Bruce leaves. That night, Bank Chief Daniel is visited in his home by Batman, who tells him to keep Falcone out of the bank. The next morning, the Gotham Gazette reports he's resigned. And now Bruce Wayne's in charge of the bank. Falcone's not happy, and he wants the entire family to come back to Gotham. He even wants his nephew Johnny to come home from his honeymoon early. That night, former bank chief Daniel is walking out of a movie theater with his wife when he's gunned down by Johnny. Commissioner Gordon gets a call about it, and he goes into his office. Meanwhile, Harvey Dent also gets a call from it, and his wife Gilda gets it. Gilda says she's scared that one day when the police call, it's going to be about Harvey. Across the city, Johnny takes a bath when a gun is pointed at him and shot. And a pumpkin is left at the crime scene. Batman, Gordon, and Dent are trying to figure out who would have shot him, but they have no answers. But across the street, Catwoman is listening in, and Batman goes after her. He tells Batman about a warehouse where Falcone keeps all of his money, and Dent and Batman go to it, and Dent burns it down. Harvey heads home just in time to help his wife hand out candy on Halloween night. All of a sudden, their house blows up. Batman and Gordon are trying to figure out who would have blown up Dent, but they're getting nowhere fast. Back at the Falcone penthouse, his sister Carlo storms in, mad about her son's death. Back at the prison, one of the prisoners asks the others who would have tried to blow up Harvey Dent. The prisoner is then pulled aside to be questioned, but he takes off a mask, revealing himself to be Harvey. After getting no answers, the three men call it quits, and Harvey goes to visit his wife in the hospital. Commissioner Gordon comes home to a Thanksgiving dinner all by himself. Meanwhile, all the prisoners are throwing a dinner because Falcone got them out of jail. That's when the door opens, and a man with a gun steps in and starts firing. And they're all killed, and all that's left is a cornucopia and a gun. Batman and Gordon go to see the only man they think who can help them crack the case, the Calendar Man, a wicked killer who kills every holiday. But the Calendar Man is no help. Across town, two men are eating dinner at Maroni's, discussing who they believe to be the holiday killer. The two men agree it's Harvey Dent. But it's at that moment the Joker shows up, and he wants to know who is Holiday. Harvey Dent is taking Gilda home for the first time to their new home. He tells her to go upstairs because he notices something is off. It's the Joker in the living room, and Harvey attacks him. But the Joker gets the final laugh. He says, "You're good, Dent, but you're no Batman." He tells Dent that Gotham's only big enough for one maniac, and he beats Harvey up and leaves. The Joker then stops at Maroni's penthouse and wakes him up in bed, and he tells him, "I want to know who the Holiday Killer is, or I'll kill everyone in Gotham." The Joker makes his leave, throwing cards on his way out, and when a guard comes, he throws cards in his face, making the man drop his gun. The man reaches to pick up his gun as the Joker is driving away, but a gun is pulled up and shoots him twice, and they leave a snow globe there. It's now New Year's Eve in Gotham, and Batman is spending it chasing down the Joker. Defeating the Joker is never an easy task. Harvey Dent is spending his night working late, but on his way out, his assistant Vernon tells him about a connection between the Falcone gang and Bruce Wayne. Carmine Falcone is spending his New Year's Eve on his yacht, throwing a party for his entire family. That's when his son Alberto steps outside for some air, and his sister Carlo steps out for a smoke. A gunshot goes off, and Alberto falls over the edge of the ship. Carlo rushes up to the scene and finds a glass of champagne and the murder weapon, and a trail of blood in the water. Harvey Dent arrives home to a New Year's Eve party with the Gordons. That's when he pulls Commissioner Gordon aside and tells him they need to talk about Bruce Wayne. He has a connection with Falcone. But don't worry, Bruce Wayne's not the killer. He's Batman, and right now, he's taking down the Joker seconds before midnight. The Joker's plane crashes down in the river, and Batman has once again saved the city. Harvey Dent and Commissioner Gordon go to Wayne Manor to ask Bruce Wayne about his whereabouts during the murder, but Alfred informs them that Bruce is not there. Carmine Falcone is going to leave a rose on his son's grave. That's when Batman shows up and asks him if all of his crimes were worth the cost of his son. And Catwoman shows back up, just to escape later. Later that day, Bruce Wayne is out on a date with Selina Kyle, and she offers to buy him a rose, and a thorn scratches him. Across the city, sitting outside Maroni's restaurant, is a bunch of Carmine Falcone's men, and they're sitting in the car, and all of a sudden it starts getting shot up, and then it explodes, and all that's left behind is a box of chocolates. After his date with Selina Kyle, Bruce Wayne returns home and completely ignores Alfred, walking straight to the garden to find poison ivy. The next morning, Bruce Wayne goes back to the bank and tells him he's changed his mind and they will do business with Carmine Falcone. As he's leaving the bank, Bruce walks right past Selina Kyle, ignoring her as well, and steps into a limo, but Selina sees poison ivy inside the limo. After returning to Wayne Manor, Bruce Wayne is seated at the dinner table with Poison Ivy when Catwoman interrupts. Catwoman kicks Poison Ivy in the face and rips open Bruce Wayne's shirt, revealing a bunch of Poison Ivy's leaves controlling him. With Ivy controlling him no longer, Bruce collapsed to the floor as Poison Ivy escapes. Across the city, the Holiday Killer is striking again, shooting at a bunch of Falcone's men and leaving a leprechaun behind. Meanwhile, Falcone's in his office, paying off Poison Ivy for helping him. In the Batcave, Batman is looking at all the evidence when he thinks he finally figured out who the Holiday Killer is, Harvey Dent. And at the police station, Harvey Dent thinks he has it figured out, and the killer is Bruce Wayne. Falcone brings in the Riddler to help him figure out who the Holiday Killer is. But after proving no help, they throw him outside in the rain, where he's met with someone with a gun, and they shoot all around him, missing him completely, leaving behind. A month later, the Scarecrow breaks out of Arkham Asylum. After getting tackled by Batman, it's revealed it's just a costume full of hay, and vapors start coming out. It's the Scarecrow's fear toxin. The police show up to Wayne Manor to arrest Bruce Wayne, but he's not there. Falcone's daughter, Sophia, goes to a tea house when she hears gunshots and rushes inside, just to find a basket of flowers for Mother's Day. Bruce Wayne goes to Crime Alley, the place where his family died, just to leave a rose for his mother on Mother's Day, when the police spot him and scare him and he runs away to a cemetery where his family is buried. They corner him at his mother's grave, still affected by the fear gas. Bruce Wayne's day in court has come, and Alfred's being questioned by Harvey Dent. After a thorough testament from Alfred, Bruce is let go. Later that night, the holiday killer strikes again, this time leaving a tie for Father's Day. Back at the Dent residence, Gilda comes down to the basement to find Harvey sitting alone in the dark flipping a coin. He tells her he was so sure Bruce was the holiday killer, but the jury just changed their mind like the flip of a coin. Scarecrow is preparing his latest scheme, and he's gotten the Mad Hatter's help now. It's now July, and the holiday killer strikes again, this time on the 4th of July. Batman meets Harvey Dent on the top of the police station. Harvey tells him we need to talk. He was so sure Bruce was the killer, but he made a mistake. Tomorrow, Sal Maroni is going to testify against Falcone, and this will all end. Just then, Gordon bursts in and tells them the holiday killer struck again at the docks this time. Batman and Gordon go to investigate and find a Statue of Liberty. Just then, Scarecrow and Mad Hatter finally make their move attacking Gotham, but it isn't long before Batman finds them, and Catwoman joins him. The two easily take down the criminals, and Catwoman takes off. Gilda Dent is in the basement, and Harvey bursts in. She found something. It's one of the guns that the holiday killer uses. Harvey quickly rips it out of her hands, telling it's evidence for his case tomorrow. And Gilda asks, "Since when do you bring evidence home?" Harvey says, "All the time. I'm the district attorney." Batman goes to see the Riddler because the Riddler is the only person to survive an attack with the holiday killer. He asks why, and the Riddler tells him, "Well, it was April Fool's, wasn't it? It was just a gag." Sal Maroni's day in court has finally come, and Gordon pads him down looking for anything he can use in court. It's before he walks into court he's handed a bottle of antacid. In court, Harvey's doing his best to prove a connection between Falcone and Maroni. That's when Maroni starts coughing on the stand, and he reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out the antacid, and he chucks it in Harvey's face, burning him. It's acid, and it's melting Harvey's face fast. Maroni tells him, "Good luck, that stuff will eat through cement." At the Gotham hospital, the Gordons are keeping Gilda Dent company while they wait to hear back from the doctor. The doctor comes out and tells them that Harvey escaped, as he has a knife in his back and falls dead. At the Gotham coroner's office, Carlo Falcone is going through the files when the holiday killer strikes again, killing Harvey Dent goes to hide out in the sewers. That's where he runs into Solomon Grundy. The Batman meets with Commissioner Gordon, going over the contents of Harvey Dent's briefcase, where they find the gun and a ledger. Gordon realizes that Harvey Dent is Holiday. Gordon asks Batman how long he has known that Harvey was the killer, but Batman believes the man who stood on this roof with him is incapable of doing those crimes. Commissioner Gordon tells Batman to go find Harvey. Batman goes to visit Falcone and asks where Dent is. Falcone is angry. He says, "I don't know where that maniac is. You know what my people call this? They call it the Long Halloween. It all started with Johnny Vitti on Halloween, and you guys just let it go on because they were killing my people." Batman then leaves. Gilda Dent hears a noise in her basement, and she goes downstairs to investigate. That's where she finds Batman, and he wants to know where her husband, Harvey, is. Batman explains the evidence to her, and that they found a gun in Harvey's briefcase. In the police holding cell is Sal Maroni, who threw acid in Harvey's face. Commissioner Gordon comes in and tells him to get up. They're moving him. Maroni's a tough guy. He says, "You're moving me all 'cause of Dent? Let him at me. I can handle him." Just then, Maroni is shot twice. One of the guards jumps the killer and knocks his hat off. Gordon picks up his flashlight and shines it right in his face, revealing Alberto Falcone, Carmine Falcone's son, alive. He is the holiday killer. Guard knocks Alberto out and then takes his helmet off, revealing himself to be Batman. Alberto is arrested and charged for the killings. The newspapers report the holiday killer is finally caught. Carmine Falcone comes to visit his son in prison. He tells him, "I can get you out of here. But why did you kill all of our people?" Alberto tells his father, When I offered to join the family business, you sent me off to college. No one ever noticed me until I did this. Now, look at me. I'm the holiday killer. Falcone goes home and throws a fit, smashing everything. My son didn't listen. He's going to the gas chamber now because he didn't listen. Outside of the penthouse, some vines start growing and take out his guards. Now inside, smoke bombs with laughing gas go off. Power then goes out. Falcone gathers the rest of his men to search the house for the intruders. In his office, he finds Gotham's worst criminals united. The Penguin, Solomon Grundy, Joker, Mad Hatter, Scarecrow, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and in the middle, someone new. The man in the middle says, "How much longer did you think I'd let the Falcone family tear Gotham in half? Good and evil? My city." He sits up, revealing Harvey Dent. Batman breaks in through the window, throwing a smoke bomb and easily taking out all the criminals. Batman pleads with his former friend Harvey, and Harvey tells him Harvey is gone. Now I'm Two-Face. Batman asks Two-Face, "If you pull that trigger, how are you any different from Falcone?" Two-Face flips his coin and tells him the justice system can be decided by the flip of a coin, and he shoots Falcone 2 times. Batman offers Two-Face's hand. He tells him, "You still believe in Gotham City. You were married here. You want to start a family. If nothing else, think of Gilda." Harvey snaps out of it. He then approaches Batman and knocks him out with the gun. Harvey then goes to his office to find Vernon, his assistant, working late. He tells him, "I know somebody slipped Maroni the acid in court, and I know it was you," and he shoots him. After waking up, Batman shows up later to find Vernon dead, and the bat signal comes up in the sky. After going to the police station's roof, he finds Two-Face there, and Two-Face tells him, "I did what needed to be done. There's no judges to bribe, nobody to get off. Falcone is dead, and the long Halloween is over." Batman pleads with his former friend Harvey one more time. "We'll get you help." Two-Face rejects their help and tells him, "You both know, don't you? There are 2 holiday killers." After arresting Harvey Dent, Gordon and Batman meet later to discuss. "What do you think he meant? There are 2 killers?" Batman tells him, "Alberto was one, and tonight was Halloween and Harvey killed, making him the 2nd holiday killer." 2 months later at the Dent home, Gilda is packing up and selling the house. Gilda starts talking to herself. "I did what needed to be done. Remember, you promised we would be together when you didn't have to work so much. Over the years, I've read your case files about taking serial numbers off of guns, using a baby bottle nipple as a silencer, leaving clues at the murder scenes, and Batman would think it's someone else, not me." She burns the hat and trench coat. "In these, no one would recognize me. They would think it's a man." Then burns the gun and the baby nipple. "I started with Johnny Vitti, and then attacked again on Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. But then on New Year's, Alberto Falcone was shot, and that wasn't me, and your hair was wet, but you were wearing a hat. I found a gun in the basement, and you told me it was evidence, but I knew you decided to pick up where I left off. Let them all think it was Alberto. No one will ever find out. I believe in Harvey Dent." And that's the end of The Long Halloween. Batman is property of DC Comics. All text and images are owned by DC Comics. Pick up Batman The Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale wherever books are sold. Music I used was copyright free and taken from YouTube. We do not profit from this video in any way. Our purpose is to entertain and inform younger readers. Please check out some of our other superhero talk videos and the other videos on our channel. This video was created and narrated by me, Brendan Strevik. This video was made for the Priestley Forsyth Memorial Library. Check us out in person or online. Stay tuned for more. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff.